Getting her ready, folks.
Well guys, here we go. We're gonna start on this golf cart build. Now we're gonna turn this thing into a side-by-side for the kids. I picked this golf cart, well, because we got two of them and we have plenty of parts to make it happen. So I need you guys' ideas down in the comments. So watch this video and tell me what you think. I definitely need your ideas. I want an idea on an engine. I have an idea on what I wanna do, but I also want your idea on like a roll cage. So let's talk about what we're gonna do. So this whole body, everything is gonna come off. Just like we did to my last golf cart build. We're gonna ditch the body, it's gonna go into the trash. We're not gonna use any of the body at all. We're gonna ditch the back seat. The only thing we're really gonna use is the chassis as a roller. And I may do somewhat slight of a lift kit. I may extend these A-arms up here in the front, and I may do like a softer type suspension. I want to widen it just a little bit, and we're gonna use the stock tires off of my CFMOTO CForce 600 Touring. Listen, these are like the perfect tires for this application. They're light. They're beefy, they're meaty, they do a very good job. I really did like them on my 600, I just wanted bigger. But I think for the engine that I'm gonna probably pick for this, which is gonna be a 5-speed, with or without reverse, I need to find out if this rear end has reverse in it. Some of these, this is a gas, some of these had reverse in them. And if it does, then I'm not gonna pick an engine with reverse. I'm just gonna pick an engine 5-speed, it's gonna have a clutch, so it's gonna have a shifter, they're gonna have to shift it. I want to teach the boys how to work a clutch, and I feel like if I do that in this build, they'll want to learn because they'll want to drive it. They already know the principle of shifting, when to shift, when to upshift, when to downshift. They just don't know the clutch because their machines are all semi-auto, and so they don't know the clutch. So I want to teach them a clutch, but I'm thinking about using a 250cc Chinese motor, and with us getting rid of this frame, we'll be able to do some like steel mesh to make it breathable so it doesn't overheat. I would like to do a water cooled one, that way I could put a radiator up front or maybe in the back somewhere, but I haven't found any. The only ones I really found were a GY6, and the GY6 I feel like is too long for this build, so I need something compact. It ain't gotta be huge horsepower numbers, but it needs to get up and move, and it needs to be able to crawl over terrains at slow speeds. And I feel like if we gear it right, it'll be fine. We can use no matter what we want to do. When we get rid of this chassis, I want to do some sort of a different style front end with a real nice bumper coming off of this. And I'm looking at these A-arms. I think if I swap them around, that it'll give me some length. So it will like offset them to the front, which is what we need. I want this thing to be a little bit longer, and I need it to be just a little bit wider for stability. But I want to come off of like some sort of a front bumper for this, and then I want to come into like a dashboard somewhere in here with all their electronics and stuff. I want to use a aux beam 8-gang control panel and make this thing like push button start and all that stuff. But then I want to come out of that and come up here with a roll cage, and I want to keep it sleek and slick, but we're also going to brace it across the top, and it'll be braced across the bottom because it'll be tied into whatever we do up here. But we're gonna get rid of this seat, so I need to have room for two single seats, like a razor seat. I want to try and find a razor seat of some sort, some kind that will fit in here, because I want to put 4 or maybe even 5-point harnesses in this thing because I want them to be safe. It's my kids online, so if they would roll this thing down a mountain, I want them to survive. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna overbuild it. We're going to not skimp on anything when it comes to safety. I'm also going to get rid of the crappy rear drum disc brakes, and we're gonna do some Mazda Miata rotors on all 4 corners with a 4-wheel disc brake system, which is going to cost me some money, but again, it's safety and I want my kids to be safe, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this back seat, and then I want to continue down the cage, maybe into some sort of a small bed area where they can keep things, and we can keep a spare tire maybe. It does have a fuel tank that I'm hoping that we can clean and preserve. If not, there's another fuel tank on the other one out there, and I think that will save us some money there. I already purchased these 4x110, well, they're 4x4 to 4x110 adapters, wheel adapters, to adapt to these wheels. Now, these are the same ones I got for my last golf cart, but the holes are smaller. So I had to drill them out to fit, and I mean, they're already drilled, so it stays pretty center and all that stuff. Plus, we're not doing 50 mile an hour. We're doing, my goal is like no more than 30 mile an hour on this thing. And if the steering seems to be pretty tight, but mine is sloppy at high speeds, so we'll be looking into maybe tightening that up with maybe a shock or something, a steering shock. I don't know. We'll just have to see how this performs, but I want to go no more than 30 mile an hour. 30 mile an hour is plenty for them, and they'll be mostly going about 10 to 15 miles an hour. So having these, and then I'm going to have 2-inch wheel spacers on top of these to give them that nice offset. So because this thing is going to be like 48 inches wide, but it's going to sit low to the ground. Most of the weight is going to be down low, not up high. We want to make sure it's not going to be top heavy because we'll be in some off-camber stuff. So I did have to drill these out, and it seemed to work pretty good. So can't beat that. That I wish that I didn't have to drill them out. These are the same ones that I used on my last one, and I didn't have to drill them out at all. So I don't know what happened there. These are a little different, but hey, whatever. I mean, it's not like it's high-speed application, so it really don't matter as long as they stay tight and don't come loose. So guys, I really could use your thoughts on this. Another thing that I was thinking is, because I want to bring their dash kind of up into here to where they can reach it, and I want to be able to tie in this, because going off-road there's going to be a lot of this going on it, so I need it to be just a little bit more stable than, I mean, it's pretty stable the way it is, but I would like to tie it into a dash. So I want to come in here with a dash so they can easily get in. I want to make it so an adult could still ride it, so we'll have to figure out a dash exactly. But nonetheless, there's enough room for both kids here. And I want to do doors because, like I said, I want them to be protected from everything in the woods. If they would roll it over, I want them to be in here, holding on, protected so they don't get hurt. Because they're kids, let's face it. They probably will wreck it. I hope they don't, but they're kids. It's going to happen, I'm sure. So I want to do nice steel doors. And it's going to get a little on the heavy side, mainly because of safety. But so I'm going to do doors on each side and that dash. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below of what you think we should do to this. And no, we're not going to put no R1 motor in it, because I can already see the comments coming, a turbocharged R1 motor. I will say, if this golf cart video, or video series I should say, gets enough attention, I have another one out there that we could do some bad to the bone stuff with. So we're going to leave it up to the attention that this gets. So if you want to see some bad to the bone off-road golf cart build with a big powerful engine of some kind with a turbo setup, share these videos. Share these videos and get them the views and get them the likes, get them the comments, and we will make that happen. So I need to know that that's what you want by providing views and everything for this build here. This is going to turn out sweet. You guys might not have the vision that I do, but you got to admit, everything that I envision turns out pretty cool. So without further ado, guys, I'd like to end it here. I just wanted to put this out there and let you know we're going to start ripping it down. So we're going to have a video or two of ripping it down and preparing it to build the cage. So we have a few videos to get comments in to see what you guys would like to see on this build. We also have Oxbeam sponsoring us some LED lighting for this build. So that alone is pretty awesome. If you want to sponsor anything on this build, you want to send me some rims and tires, or it doesn't matter. If you want to see something that your company makes on here, shoot me an email, shoot me a message on Facebook, comment down below, and let me know, and maybe we can make that happen. But I don't need sponsors, so keep that in mind. So, all right, guys, peace out. God bless. We'll see you in the next one. Please consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon. It truly does help the channel.